Jai Om Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Shota Sat Sri Srimati Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Shota Sat Sri Srimati Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण को गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। So welcome to the morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are going to discuss Canto 3, Chapter 31, text number 3, 4 and 5. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistike Krishna Sudhama Upagate Dharma Jnana Divisaha Kalau Nashtadrisam Etat Puranarka Dhunodita. So I will recite myself text 3 and 4, then we'll recite together text number 5. Masena tu sirodhabhyam bhava angira adya anga vigraha nakhalo masti charmani linga chidrot bhavastirhi. In the course of a month, a head is formed, and at the end of 2 months, the hands, feet, and other limb take shape. By the end of 3 months, the nails, finger, toe, body, hair, bones, and skin appear, as do the organs of generation and the other apertures in the body, namely the eye, nostril, ears, mouth, and anus. Text 4. चतुर्भि धात्वा सप्त पंचभि श्रुत्रित उद्धव साध्भिर्जरायुना वितः कुक्षौ वर्यति दक्षिणे. Within 4 months from the date of conception, the 7 essential ingredients of the body, namely blood, flesh, fat, bone, marrow, and semen, come into existence. At the end of 5 months, hunger and thirst make themselves felt, and at the end of 6 months, the fetus enclosed by the amino begin to move on the right side of the abdomen. Third part, when the body of the child is completely formed at the end of 6 months, the child, if he is male, begin to move on the right side, and if female, she tries to move on the left side. Text number 5. Repeat after me. Matur jagat dhana panadyer etad dhatur asammate sete binu mutrayor garte sajantur jantur sambhave. Matur jagdhana panade etad dhatu samate senati sayudakse sajantu jantu sampave. Matu jagdhanna panade etad dhatura sammite sajantu jantu sambhave Matu jagdhanna panade etad dhatura sammite sete vimaya vigat sadantu. Anyone? Okay, word to word translation. Matuhu of the mother, Jagat taken, Annapana by the food and drink, Adhyay and so on, Etat increasing, Dhatuhu the ingredients of his body, Asamate abominable, Sete remains with Muttayo of stool and urine, Garte in a hollow, Saha that, Jantuhu fetus, Jantu of wombs, Sambhave the breeding place. Purport in translation by His Divine Grace Away Charna Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation, I'll read. Driving its nutrition from the food and drink taken by the mothers, the fetus grow and remain in the abominable residence of stool and urine, which is the breeding palace of all kind of wombs. Repeat after me. Driving its nutrition from the food and drink taken by the mother, the fetus grow and remain in that abominable residence of stool and urine, which is the breeding place of all kind of worms. Purport. In the Markandeya Purana, it is said that in the intestine of the mother, the umbilical cord, which is known as apayayani, joins the mother to the abdomen of the child, and through the passage of child within the womb, accept the mother's assimilated food stock. In this way, the child is fed by the mother's intestine within the womb and grow from day to day. The statement of the Markandeya Purana about the child's situation within the womb is exactly corroborated by modern medical science, and thus the authority of the Puranas cannot be disproved, as it is sometimes attempted by the Mayavadi philosophers. Since the child depends completely on the assimilated food stock of the mothers during pregnancy, there are restrictions on the food taken by mother. Too much salt, chili, onion, and similar food is forbidden for the pregnant mother because the child's body is too delicate and new for him to tolerate such pungent food. Restrictions and precautions to be taken by the pregnant mother as enunciated in the Smriti scriptures of Vedic literature are very useful. We can understand from the Vedic literature how much care is taken to beget a nice child in society. The Garbhadhana ceremony before sexual intercourse was compulsory for person in the higher grade of society, and it is very scientific. Other processes recommended in the Vedic literatures during pregnancy are also very important. To take care of the child is the primary duty of the parents, because if such care is taken, society will be filled with good population to maintain peace and prosperity of the society, country and human race. First Mangalacharana. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruvai Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadadishur Padantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. Again welcome to our Bhagavatam class. This is my first Bhagavatam class. So I seek blessings from you so that the right words come from my mouth at the right time for the glorification of Supreme Lord and give pleasure to your ears. So these three texts is described about how the baby suffer in the womb of a mother. Generally these texts are talking about the problem of soul, which is the greatest problem, birth. Prabhupada often quote that verse, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Dosanu Darshanam. As we all know that, like we are eternal part and parcel of Krishna, Jive Swarup Hoy Krishna Re Nitya Das. Prabhupada said, somehow or other, we are fall into this material world and we are subjected to birth, death, old age and disease. These are the major problem of one's soul. And according to our karma and according to our contact with the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, we are getting different type of bodies. Sometimes animal species, sometimes insect and reptile species, sometimes tree and plants, sometimes human. In this way we are suffering in the repeated cycle of birth and death. So now we are getting this human body. After spending millions and millions of life in other species, we are getting this human body. Padma Puran like detailedly describe about this. Jalajanola Khani Stharva Lakha Vimshati Kirmayo Rudra Shankaka Pakshinam Das Lakshanam Timinsa Lakshani Pashava Chatur Lakshani Manusha. Like Jalajanola Khani means 9 lakh species live within a water, and we went through all these 9 lakh species of life. Stharva Lakha Vimshati 20 lakhs and plants and trees. We went through all this. Now we have this human form of life, which is very rare to achieve. And not only this human form of life with, yes, we have this human form of life with what? Durlabo manuso deho dehinam charpamura tatrapi durlabam manya vaikuntha priya darshanam. This human form of life is so rare to achieve, and it is charpamura. It can be lost at any moment. But in this human form of life, we got the association of pure devotee of the Lord of Vaikuntha. See, outside people, for of conditioned soul, this is very rare to achieve human form. And after achieving the human form, people they are engaging in sense gratification. They are doing hard work day and night and running after money, women, and like that. But what they are doing, they are simply doing the animal activities only, sleeping, eating, mating, and defending. Papa said, Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha samanya tat pasuvi naranam. These four things the animal also did, right? Animal also do in their life. Even hogs and dogs, they are doing these 4 things. But what distinguishes us from animals? Ahara nidra bhayamaithunam cha samanya tat pasuvi naranam dharmo hitesham adhika vishesho dharmena hinna pasuvi samanam. We human are engaged in spiritual life, spiritual activities, but the animals, dogs, they are not engaged in spiritual life. They are simply doing that 4 things only. So after getting this human form of life, we have to think why I am suffering in this material world. I don't want distress. Why distress force upon me? I don't want to die. Why death force upon me? I don't want to become old age. I want to remain perpetually young. Why am obliged to become old? This thing we have to think like that. This is the Athato Brahma Jigyasa. For this, for these things we got this human form of life. We can see in the Bhagavatam, 5th canto Bhagavatam, Rishabh is instructing to his 100th son, headed by Bharat Maharaj. First verse from that chapter, 551. Nayam deho deha bhaja nirloke kashtan kama arhati vidbhujame tapo divyam putrakayena suddheta sattvam esmat brahma shokham ta anantam. The human, Rishabh is telling to his son, the human body is so rarely achieved, and this is not for like working day and night for sense gratification. This sense gratification is available in the lower species of life as well, in animals and dogs. So what's the purpose of this life? He is telling in the third line, Tapo divyam putrakayena suddheta sattvam esmat brahma shokham ta anantam. This human form of life is for the austerity, penance, tapasya, to attain the divine position of devotional service, to attain the divine position, and to get eternal happiness and blissful life. For this Brahma Saukyam, we are getting this human form of life for this purpose only. Rishabh, and this human form of life, it just like a junction. If we want to go to the path of liberation, we can go. If we want to go to hell, then we can go. This is like a junction. So Rishabh is telling in the second verse, Mahat Seva Dwaram Ahur Vimukte Tamo Dwaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. If we solve the Mahatmas, if we solve the pure devotee Mahabhagavat, then we will go to the path of liberation. Because these Mahatmas, for example, our Gurus and our Guru Maharaj, they are following Prabhupada, and Prabhupada following his Guru Maharaj, and his Guru Maharaj is following his Guru Maharaj. Like that, they are going to Krishna's abode. That if we follow them, if we solve them, then we are also going in that path. Just like Mahat Seva Dwaram, solving is normal. Just like a lot of Prabhupada disciples and senior devotees visit our ISKCON temple, and we can solve them by learning, cooking, by washing their clothes, dhotis, by attending their classes. This is all Mahat Seva. If we want to go to hell, from this life to hell, then Tamo Dwaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. We can simply associate with those people who are attached to sense gratification and omen. This is the way to hell. Tamo Dwaram Yoshitam Sangi Sangam. And Rishabh is telling the qualities of Mahatmas in the third line of this verse. Mahantaste Samachitta Prasanta Bhimanava Surita Sadhavaye. Who are Mahatmas? They are Samachitta, means they treat equal to every living entity in a spiritual platform, like Pandita, Samadarshina. They are Prasanta, they are very peaceful, Bhimanava, without any anger. Suridha, well-wisher of every living entity. Sadhavai, they have the good qualities of pure Vaishnava, good qualities of pure Vaishnava without any bad behavior. This is the qualities of Mahatma. And Rishabh is again telling in the third verse, Eva maise krita sudhirartha janeshu deham bharavartikeshu griheshu jayat majarati matsu priti na priti yukta yavat arthishcha loke. Here Rishabh is telling directly, I am Supreme Personality of Godhead. Eva maise krita sudhirartha. Me means Rishabh, who is non-different from Vasudeva. Sudhirartha. Krita Sudhirartha means those who want to develop loving relationship of Dasya, Sakya, Vasalya, Madhurya. They are not interested in Deham Bharavartikeshu, to maintain their own body to maintain the sleeping, eating, mating, defending. They are not interested in these things. Also, they are not interested in janeshu deham bharvartikesu grihesu jayat mazarati matsu. Grihesu means home. Raja means wife, atmaja, children. They are not interested in their wife, children, and friends and or wealth. Even they are a grihastha or householder, they earn that much money which keeps the body and soul together. That's all. They are not interested. And the fourth verse, Rishabdev is telling very heavy verse Prabhupada's quoted Nunam Parmatta Kurute Vikarma Yadindriya Priti Apnoti Na Sadhu Manne Yatatmano Ayam Asan Api Kales Asad Deha. Those, those who are attached to sense gratification, women, they are mad after materialistic life. This human form is chhadbhangura. Any moment it can be lost, but still they are doing sinful activity and they are forgetting that this human form of life is so rare, so rare. So Rishabdev is telling in the sixth part the importance, the how to get out from this repeated cycle of birth and death. In the sixth part, प्रीति न युक्ता मयि वासुदेवे न मुच्यते देहा yogina tattvat. He's saying in third verse, until and unless if you can't develop the loving devotion service unto me, my Vasudeva, who is none other than Vasudeva, me, you are not get out from the repeated cycle of birth and death. Na muchyate deha yogina tattvat. So, question is that how to develop that love for Krishna, because until we can develop the love for Krishna, we are stuck in this material world, stuck in the womb of our mother. So, any idea how to develop love for Krishna? Yeah, serve the devotees. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad said in his Chaitanya Mat Manjusa, आराध्यो भगवान् ब्रजशतनयस्तद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्याकाजितुपासन ब्रजवधू वर्गेण वो कल्पिते श्रीमद्भागवतं पुराणममलं प्रेमापुमर्थो महान् श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभु मतमिदं तत्रादरो न परः. आराध्य भगवान, the most worshipable Lord, Sri Krishna, who is son of Nanda Maharaj, is the most worshipable form for Sri Krishna is done by the gopis of Vrindavan. Ramyaka jitupasana brajavadhu vargena vokalpite. So if we want to follow the footsteps of gopis to develop our conjugal love for Krishna, which is inherent within us, but due to these natural things it's stuck, we can't see. If you want to develop that love, then Srimad Bhagavatam, Amalam Puranam, Prema Pumartho Mahan, the last instruction of Vasudev, the last literature of Vasudev is Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence of all Vedic scriptures. See, all Vedic scriptures, they are talking about Chatuspurushartha, Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. But this Srimad Bhagavatam is talking beyond this Chaturpurushartha. This is talking about Pancham Purushartha, which is Prema Pumartho Mahan, the love for Krishna. It's talking about Srimad Bhagavatam, and this statement is the opinion of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well. Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradaru na Parha. See, we can see the story of Prabhupada's life. Prabhupada printed this Srimad Bhagavatam. How you know? By begging home to home. He had a shortage of money and he begged home to print the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And he walked with Srimad Bhagavatam to America. Before going to America, he went to Chantipur, Advait Bhavan, for praying, taking blessing. And Pujari said, Swami Maharaj, I have heard that you are going to America. Prabhupada said, no, I'm not going to America. Pujari said, but I heard that from reliable source that you are going to America. And we know that in Padma Puran there is one verse, Idam sthanam parityaja videsham gamate maya. Idam sthanam means Vrindavan. Bhakti Devi will left Vrindavan and he will go to Paschatya Desh. Idam sthanam parityaja videsham gamate maya. Prabhupada said, I am not going to America. This Bhagavatam has decided to go to America like never before. And I am traveling with him as his personal servant. Prabhupada said, this Bhagavatam has decided to given others. This Bhagavatam is decided to cross over the ocean and decided to give himself to other. And I am carrying him as his personal servant. काष्टेर पुतली जथा नचाओ से माथे नचाओ नचाओ प्रभु नचाओ से माथे काष्टेर पुतली जथा we see like that puppet, they are moving, their hands are also moving, but the string is connected to the puppet here, and what we see, the puppet is moving. Prabhupada said काष्टेर पुतली जथा नचाओ से माथे. I want to move and dance, my Lord, but you promised me you will move me. I am ready to dance the way you want me to dance. I have given up my family, I have given up my profession, I have given up my country, even I have given up my comfortable life in Radha Damodar temple, and I am walking with this Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't know whether to move left, right at common welfare in Boston, but you bring me here. You brought me here, so you have some idea in your mind. Prabhupada is telling to Krishna like that. So I want to become the puppets of yours, my Lord. What? Nachao, 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 Prabhu, nachao sumate. Our ISKCON temple has dancing step. We are following Prabhupada because Prabhupada had danced in Krishna's dancing step. That's what we are doing now. We are doing the. I heard from my senior God brothers that my Guru Maharaj, when he was a brahmachari, he used to go for book distribution from morning 9 to late night 9 p.m. And after 9, when nobody in the street, all the shops closed, and he used to go to nightclub to distribute the literature of Prabhupada, the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. He used to go. I heard from my senior God brothers, and I heard that when Prabhupada told that those who preach this Krishna consciousness moment in the Iron Cotton country, communist country, for I will give the dust of my lotus feet. And my Guru Maharaj went to Iron Cotton country to preach this Krishna consciousness moment, to distribute these glories of Krishna in Russia, Germany, Poland. What we can learn from our senior, our Gurujan, that without serving our spiritual master, without serving Vaishnava, without serving Mahabhagavat, this Grantha Bhagavat will lock himself. If we think like that, I will read myself. I don't need anyone. I don't need any guidance. I read this Bhagavatam myself. Then you will read only the language of Bhagavatam. If you want to actually know the Bhav and Bhakti of Bhagavatam, then we have to serve Mahabhagavat, pure devotee Vaishnava. This is the key. Chaitanya Charitamrita is also described, Jao Bhagavat Pado Vaishnaveri Sthane Ekanta Asray Karo Chaitanya Charane. If you want to learn Bhagavat, then you have to approach a self-realized Vaishnava and hear from him. Here, we can see the story of Srinivas Acharya as well. He went to Puri to meet Mahaprabhu, and learn Bhagavat from him. And he went there, and devotees are crying there. Mahaprabhu bound of his pastimes. Oh, Srinivasa Acharya, he was shocked. And he went to Gadadhar Pandit at Tota Gopinath. And there also, on the separation, for separation from Mahaprabhu, Gadadhar Pandit also bound of his pastimes. And he went to Rupa and Sanatan. They also bound of their pastimes. They appeared before Srinivasa Acharya and told, don't worry, in Vrindavan, still Jiva Goswami and Gopal Bhatta Goswami is living. You can go and take initiation from Gopal Bhatta Goswami and learn Bhagavad under the guidance of Jiva Goswami. And that time, no address. Srinivasa Acharya was crying in Radha Govindaji Mandir, in Radha Govindaji temple. Oh, how can I learn Bhagavad? Who will teach me Bhagavad? How can I learn? I got this human form of life. If I will not read Bhagavatam, I will not learn Bhagavatam, then my life is gone, my life is wasted. मनुष्य जन्म पाइया राधा कृष्ण नभजिया जानिया सुनिया विषय खाइनु हरि हरि विफले जन्म गमाइनु. He was crying, and that time Jiva Goswami, he came and approached, why you are crying? And Srinivasa Acharya narrates all the story, how everyone's bound up their pastimes. And Jiva Goswami took him to the Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He was serving his Radharaman, crying, giving Abhishek with his tear to his Radharaman. And Srinivasa Acharya took initiation from Gopal Bhatta Goswami and started reading, learning Bhagavatam under the guidance of Jiva Goswami. Not only Srinivasa Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivasa Acharya, Syamananda Pandit, and they learned Bhagavatam. And that time, no book, they learn from Jiva Goswami and write all this Bhagavatam, make a copy of Bhagavatam, 1 copy, 2 copy, 3 copy, and they went for book distribution. That time, no this type of books, anything, they write by himself and they went for book distribution. See how difficulty they facing for giving this immense, this nice literature, this Grantharaj to others. We have, see, we Kalikal Baddha Jeev, we have everything in our plate, but Durdaivam Idrisam Yaha Jani Nanu Ragaha. We are not hungry. We don't need to print book, we don't need to write, but we are feel afraid to go for book distribution. We feel tired to go for book distribution. We feel scared, oh, what people will think. See, our life. How Sanatan Goswami, he was attached to his Bhagavatam, to Bhagavatam. He used to serve his Radha Madan Mohan at Dwadas Aditya till. At the age of 90, he used to do parikrama of Govardhan, parikrama of different leelas of Radha and Krishna. And at the age of 90, he was doing. The problem is not that his legs are paining, all these things, but the problem is that he could not carry his Bhagavatam with himself. Because at the age of 19, it's so difficult to carry Bhagavatam, right? All these BVT version, 12 volumes. He used to go early in the morning for Madhukari, for parikrama, and went back at night. So without Bhagavatam, he cannot do parikrama as well, and he cannot carry as well. So he prayed to Bhagavatam. What he prayed to Bhagavatam? Repeat after me. Asadhu sadhu dadain ati nicha uchataraka hana munchkada chinman premna ritkanthayo uspara. Who is this Bhagavatam? Asadhu sadhu dadain. The one who come in contact with Bhagavatam, the asadhu person, Bhagavatam will take responsibility to bring a saintly quality to the unsaintly person. One who will come in contact with Bhagavatam, he will make saintly person to unsaintly. असाधु साधुता लाइन अति नीच उच्च तारका who is so fallen. Bhagavatam will take responsibility to uplift him who is so fallen. हाँ न मुंज कदाचिमान प्रेम न हृदकण्ठ यौस्प्रा. He is saying, Sanatana Goswami, he was saying, हाँ न मुंज कदाचिमान. Hey Bhagavatam, I left you in my kutir and I go for parikrama. I left you in my kuti, but you promised me you don't leave me. Means, hey, 18,000 verse of Srimad Bhagavatam live in my heart and occasionally come in my tongue while I am doing parikrama of different lilas daily, and I am recited these verses and I drown myself in ecstasy. Sanatana Goswami said like that. For example, we are doing Govardhan parikrama and we reach Govinda Kund in Bhagavatam sloka come in our tongue. Baraha pidham natavara bapuhu karanayoho karnikaram vipradva sahakanaka kapisam vaijayantim chamalam randrena venu adhara shudaya purayan gopavrindai vrindaranya shopadaраmanam pravishat gita kirtihi. And Baraha Pidham, Krishna, who has peacock feather in his head, Baraha Natavara Bapuhu, he is the best among dancer. Karnayoho Karnikaram, he has a nice earrings of lotus, blue colored lotus in his ears. Karnayoho Karnikaram, Karnayoho Karnikaram. Baraha Pidham Natavara Bapu Karnayoho Karnikaram Vipradva Sahakanaka Kapisam Vaijayantim Chamalam. He is wearing a silk yellow garment in his body, and he has a Vaijayanti flower mala in his neck. See, in reciting this verse, we can drown ourselves in ecstasy, we can remember Krishna like that. Sanatana Goswami is teaching like that. And furthermore, Sanatana Goswami is praying Premananda Pathaya Premavarti Aksharayate Sarvada Sarvasivyaye Sri Krishnaya Namastume. Premananda Pathaya. Those who read Bhagavatam, he will get ecstatic. He will drive the transcendental bliss and happiness only by reading Bhagavatam. Premananda Pathaya Premavarti Aksharayate. This syllable of Bhagavatam, every letter of Bhagavatam, every syllable of Bhagavatam is just like a cloud who shower the rainfall of happiness. Premananda Pathaya. Every verse in Akshar of Srimad Bhagavatam is enough to give us Krishna Prem. Chaitanya Charitamrita also described. What's the verse? Krishna Tulya Bhagavad Vibhu Sarvasraye Prati Shloke Prati Akshare Nana Artha Kahe. And Sarvada Sarvasevyaye Sri Krishnaya Namastume. We read this Srimad Bhagavatam, we distribute this Srimad Bhagavatam, we hear this Srimad Bhagavatam eternally. Sarvada Sarvasevyaye, not just once, twice or thrice. Sarvada Sarvasevyaye. Why? Because Sri Krishnaya Namastume, this Bhagavad is non-different from Krishna. Abhinnatva Namanamino. Just like Krishna and Krishna's name are non-different. Similarly, this Bhagavatam and Krishna is non-different. We see Vrindavan and we thought like that, we think like that. Oh, this is just a part of India. We see Tulsi Maharani and we think, oh, this is just an ordinary plant. We see DT, oh, they are just like stone, they are just stone. We see Guru Maharaj and we think, oh, they are just ordinary people like us. We are committing same aparad. If we see Bhagavatam and we see this is just a grantha, this is just an ordinary book. No, this is non-different from Krishna. Padma Puran describes this. Tamadi Devam Karuna Nidhanam Tamala Vardam Shuhita Avataram Apara Samsara Samundra Shetu Majamahi Bhagavata Shurupam. This Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. Tamadi Devam Shuhita Avataram. In his most Tamadi Devam Karuna Nidhanam, in his most merciful form. Tamadi Devam Karuna Nidhanam Tamala Varnam Shrita Avataram. Tamala Varnam, that same bluish blackish Krishna is appears Surita Avataram in sound vibration to touch the heart of all living entity, all human. Apara samsara samundra setum. This repeated cycle of birth and death is just like a big ocean, and there is one bridge, not across the pond, lake or river, but across the ocean. There is one bridge. What is that bridge? Bhajamahe Bhagavata Swarupam. Bhajamahe Bhagavata Swarupam. In Bhagavatam we can see we have a lot of reference in Bhagavatam glorify himself. Bhagavatam is glorify himself. I will just present a few. The Srimad Bhagavatam first canto, first chapter, verse number 2. Dharma projita kaitavatra parmo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavamatra vastu sivadam tapatrayor mulanam. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimba Paraishwara Sadhyo Riddhe Avruddhate Kritivi Susrushubhi Takshanat. Dharma Projita Kaitavatra Parmo Nirmatsaranam Satam. This Bhagavatam will never cheat you. Means other scripture cheat? Yeah, of course they cheat. We deserve the pleasure groves of Sri Vrindavan Dham. We deserve the Kunja and Nikunja of Radha Krishna and Golo Vrindavan Dham. In other scriptures, they are convincing us, they are giving us the position of Brahma and Indra in next life. That means they are cheating us. But this Bhagavatam is never cheat us. Dharma projita kaitavatra parmo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavam atra vastu. This Bhagavatam is talking about vastav vastu, means Krishna. Sivadham, all auspiciousness will come if we will read this Srimad Bhagavatam. Tapatrayur Mulanam, causes by ourselves, causes by other natures, all threefold miseries will Tapatrayur Mulanam will destroy. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimba Paraishwara. The compiler of Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasdev, the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami, the listener of Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj, in audience, Parasar Muni or others, all they are liberated. Then what will you think? He will also liberate us from the Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, this Bhagavatam. Then Kimba Paraishwara, why we need other scriptures? Kimba Pareshwara Sadhyo Riddhe Avaruddhate Kritivi Susrushubhi Takshanat. By reading this Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna will enter in our heart and he will cleanse our dirty heart. Dhunoti Nirvitta Tarsai Upagiyamana Bhavaushadha Chotra Manobhiramat Ka Uttama Sloka Gunanvadat Pumandirejeta Vina Pashunat. Bhagavatam is saying in 10 canto, first chapter, verse number 4. Nirvitta tarsai upagiyamana bhavaushadha chotra manobhiramat. Bhagavatam is saying, who is that person who will not hear or read Srimad Bhagavatam? Because this Bhagavatam is the medicine for that person who is suffering in this material world, who is suffering in the womb of mother, repeated birth and death. He must be a butcher, Pasugnath. He is so used to cut other animal, now he's decided to cut his own spiritual life, own soul, Pasugnath. He must be a butcher. Bhagavatam is saying in 12th canto, Samsara Sindhum Atidustara Utti Tirso Nanya Plava Bhagavata Purushottamasya Lila Katha Rasan Shevana Mantrena Pumsham Bhavet Vividukkhadavaditasya. Those who are suffering in the uncountable miseries of material existence, and those who want to cross ocean, the insurmountable ocean of this material existence, for them there is only one boat: to cultivate that habit of hearing the transcendental narration of this Krishna Katha, this Srimad Bhagavatam. For them only this is the medicine. And Bhagavatam again saying, 11th canto, Nirdeha Madhyam Sulabam Sudurlabham Palabam Sukalpam Gurukarnadharam Mayanukulena Nabhasvateritam Puman Bhavabdim Nataresatma. This human form of life is compared as a boat, having a spiritual master as a captain in this favorable wind. to cross the ocean is Bhagavad. Is Bhagavad. In considering all this advantage, if we can't utilize this advantage, we can utilize this human form of life, then we are the killer of our own soul. Bhagavatam is saying, Labdava sudurlabamidam bahusambhavanti manushyamartadam anityam apiha dhira turnat ateta napateta anumrityuyama nisresaya khalo visaya sarvatra sayat. Human form of life is so rare and so temporary. So we can use this human form of life. We can use this human form of life, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and distributing Srimad Bhagavatam. Then we can develop love for Krishna. Don't think like that. I know Prahlad Maharaj, I know Durga Maharaj, I heard this pastime of Putna from my childhood. Read this again and again, then the qualities of Durga Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj will enter in our heart. Then we also become lowly to obtain Krishna. Otherwise there is no other way. No other way. So, if you read Bhagavatam for your own self, it's good. But if you read Bhagavatam for Krishna, in front of Krishna, then you will be very happy. You will very pleased seeing how Draupadi crying, how Gajendra cried, how Ambrish Maharaj took shelter. He loved hearing Bhagavatam from his devotee. So read this Bhagavatam every single day in front of Krishna. Padma Purana describes Sada Sevya Srimad Bhagavati Katha Yasya Sharvana Matrena Hari Chittam Samasraye. Krishna will take shelter of our heart if we solve this Bhagavatam eternally by hearing, reading and distributing. When Krishna will enter in our heart, He will cleanse our heart. Then we can develop love for Krishna. Then we can get rid out from this repeated cycle of birth and death, repeated cycle of birth and death. It's 40, already 45, right? Yeah, so I would like to stop here. ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।